Everybody, welcome. I'm going to bring up more than a white screen here. And here we go. So glad you're watching this recording. Talia, thank you for being here with me in our live session. If you do want to need to leave, that's totally fine. Hope that in that case you would come back to watch the recording. I'm going to turn on my camera also and do have a question here that I'm going to answer in a moment. Alrighty, getting this set up best here. Alrighty. Oh, blind, not me, not you. Alrighty, here we go. Okay. So first of all, before I answer the question, this is our first weekly for Geometry A live session. So please tell everyone in your space that you're in a live or recorded help session with your teacher. And that you should not be disturbed unless there's an emergency. And why? Because this session is directly connected to your after high school career and college future. Geometry is really fundamental. And so I'm going to get, that starts the real presentation there. Now to answer Talia's question. The question is, can you post again, if I understand correctly, can you post again in discussions? So in all of our discussions here at Primavera courses, you can post any number of times. So they are weighted, meaning they have less grade points towards your final grade. It's not one-to-one. They have fewer weighted grade points going to your final score than other activities. But no, I got to correct myself on that. Why do I? That's how it used to be. Now the way it is, new and improved, discussions are 15% of your grade. So that's a letter and a half grade. So that can make all the difference between earning any grade you want, whether just passing or getting an A. 15%, that's like a difference between 45% and 60 you've passed. So you want to put in all, get those full points on discussions and use my help. And that's what I'm going to be talking about today. So that is a great question. Talia, can you hear me okay now? Okay, so I think you got what I just said. Unlimited number of discussions, 15% of your grade. Very, very important. And do you have another question before we get into the heart of our session here? Oh, sure. I do have a very soft voice. I did have a special microphone for that purpose, but I still have a soft voice. Any better now? Very good. Okay. I'm going to get that right centered there. So I'm going to start out like I did in the welcome message, where because I'm talking about discussions and projects like I did in the welcome message. So this presentation is more important, really, than every lesson in the course. And that takes us to the welcome. So I'm going to jump ahead into our actual, if you want to get all of that, watch the recording there in those class announcements. So I'm going to change your screen here. If you are a senior, so if you are a senior and you're thinking about going to technical school or community college or university, you're going to need money for that. And there's free money available. Right now in Arizona, only about 40% of seniors are asking for this free money. So across the state, even across the country, but especially here in Arizona, we want to give away money. So you have to complete this free application for federal student aid. And that can also qualify you for jobs on campus. I did that when I was going to college. I washed dishes in my dorm and I served food. I didn't cook. I didn't do that. But I washed the dishes and I I scooped up and slopped the food on everyone's tray. So, and that was fun because they became my friends. But that got me through college. It's washing dishes. So make it easier on yourself. I didn't have the opportunity to do FAFSA then. I definitely would have. Maybe it would have avoided all the steamy hands and the clothes that smell like canned green beans. So on top of it, on top of the free money, you can win cash and prizes that we, Primavera, are giving away up to $10,000. So you want to complete the application. If you're a senior who's about to graduate, you should have received the opportunity to enter the raffle and to enter. So and I have a feeling just like less than half of the seniors are going to do that, probably even fewer at Primavera are going to do it. So I think everybody who does that will have a really good chance of actually winning money or some decent prizes. Okay, so that's what I have for you seniors. And I know there are seniors because this is summer retaking the course, right? Now I put into the class this, which I will share next. This is how it appears in your class. The screen right here, project, videos, and more, Miss Clyban presents. So she's another geometry teacher, and she's gone to great pains to make this class really, really good experience for you, as I have. But this is how she chose to do it. I choose to do it by posting in like, I don't know, 40 different help pages. She took the easy way out, but her work is very good. That's why it's the world's best help incorporated. So when you click on this in those announcements, I put them throughout the course, so you can't avoid crashing into it. You will see this, and then sharing this tab. I'm going to turn my camera off so you can see some of this fine print better than looking at me. And so you get a little introduction to Ms. Clyban and her dog. And then we have Geometry A and Geometry B. We have the lesson help. We have the project help. So project help. Those are the projects. Now I give it to you more painstakingly where I post it right into the course, and perhaps she does too. But if you want it all in one place, this is it. These are the projects. There is no more to it. This is 25% of the grade. So it's really important to get this down early. What makes a difference? 15% discussion, 25% projects. 45% of the grade, about half of it, are these two activities. And these are drawings. These projects are drawings only done in a few minutes. You would be surprised how many people skip. But you're watching this, so you're not the ones I should be talking to. But that's okay. And then she also has lesson help too to get through the different workbooks and checkpoints, giving you examples and how to get through these proof tables. You'll see it does look complicated, but it is proof, very logical. So there's a huge amount of help here. So we're going to go on into the discussion part here. And I do try to watch my time. I could talk about this forever, but you don't want to listen forever. Talia, do you have any questions so far? Any comments? Oh, very good. Okay. So going next here. So this is I'm just going to put this 5-minute video in here. And if you've already seen my comments in your discussions, you're going to know exactly what I'm talking about, because here at SolCon, and why should I reinvent the wheel here? So here, if hopefully here, SolCon talks about geometric definitions. Remember, if you watch the welcome video, geometry is 3 things. It is logic, precision, and habit. And habit ties to the other two because you want to work precisely and you want to work logically. So you want to do the same behaviors. And you know the main behavior is to copy, right? So here, the best way to get through these definitions is by copying from a source. And this presumes that the student had to memorize. So we will watch. This is really one of the so fundamental. So here we go.
A lot of what geometry is about is proving things about the world. And in order to really prove things about the world, we have to be very careful, very precise. We know what we're proving and we know what we're assuming and what type of deductions we are making as we prove things. And so to get some practice being precise and exact with our language, I'm going to go through some exercises from the geometric definitions exercise on Khan Academy. So this first one says 3 students attempt to define what it means for lines L and M to be perpendicular. Can you match the teacher's? All right, so it looks like 3 different students attempt definitions of what it means to be perpendicular, and then there's these teachers' comments that we can move around. So we're gonna, I guess, pretend that we're the teacher. So Ruby's definition for being perpendicular: L and M, lines L and M, are perpendicular if they never meet. Well, that's not true. In fact, perpendicular lines for sure will intersect. So in fact, they intersect at right angles. So that's not going to be Were you thinking of parallel lines? Because that looks like what she was trying to define. If things are on the same plane and they never intersect, then you are talking about parallel lines. I also get Shreya's definition. L and M are perpendicular if they meet at one point and one of the angles at their point of intersection is a right angle. Well, that seems spot on. So let's see. I would say, woohoo, nice work. I couldn't have said it better myself. Now let's just make sure this comment matches. For says L and M are perpendicular if they meet at a single point such that the 2 lines make a T. Well, that's in a hand wavy way kind of right. When you imagine perpendicular lines, you could imagine them kind of forming a cross, or I guess part of, a T would be part of it. But I think this comment is spot on. The teacher's comment, your definition is kind of correct, but it lacks mathematical precision. What does he mean by, what does it mean to make a T? Shreya's definition is much more precise. They're perpendicular if they meet at one point, and one of their angles at their point of intersection is a right angle, is a 90-degree angle. Let's check our answer. So let's do a few more of these. This is actually a lot of fun. So we're going to have students attempting to define, but now they're going to define an object called.
So I'm going to pause here because remember what I say in the welcome message, going back, precision. You have to be precise, but you don't have to memorize. You are expected to copy. Copy is legal. It's okay. It's actually encouraged to get to the precision because that's how you learn. And you make it legal by including your source citation, whether it's got to be a math website, probably not a book. Can't be ChatGPT or AI, even though they do give source citations that are legit, but you're not going to be able to explore and look around. Not that you will, but it would be nice. And there you have the opportunity. So I want to see that you get the opportunity. Okay, so you want to be precise. Remember, it's logic. Those are those proof tables from Ms. Clyban and me. And which are basically answers, just like the projects are answers. It's all good, all good. So you want to be precise and you want to copy with academic integrity. You don't want to don't repost your classmates because they're not doing what I'm telling you. Every one of you can do what I'm telling you. Everybody can do this. So don't go after your classmates because they're not listening possibly to this and they're doing their own thing. I try to white it out. When you see, contact Mr. Weiss for more information. That means not that they did anything bad, I just don't want them to distract you from what I'm telling you now. They shouldn't be the ones copied. Okay, I think I could make that point well. So let's look at one more. So that other one really hit on precision. We'll go back to where
And
we
one
were.
of their angles at their point of. So once again, we're going to have three students attempting to define, but now they're going to define an object called an angle. Can you match the teacher's comments to the definitions? So Ruby, well, these same three students, Ruby says the amount of turn between two straight lines that have a common. Well, this is kind of getting there. The definition of an angle, we typically talk about two rays with a common vertex. She's talking about two lines with a common vertex. And she's talking about the amount of turn. So she's really talking about more of kind of the measure of an angle. So let's see what comment here. So you seem to be getting at the idea of a measure of an angle and not the definition of an angle itself. So this is actually right. I would put this one right here. We just got lucky. This was already aligned. That come together. So once again, this is kind of the definition of an angle is two rays with a common vertex. So two lines that come together, this is just intersecting lines. Now, when that happens, you might be forming some angles, but I would just say, were you thinking of intersecting lines? And let's see what Abhishek says. A figure composed of two rays sharing a common endpoint. The common endpoint is known as the vertex. Yep, that's a good definition. Abhishek got it this time. Let's do another one. So three students are now attempting to define what it means for two lines to be parallel. So now let's match the teacher's comments. So Daniela says two lines are parallel if they are distinct and one can be translated on top of the other. All right. So that actually seems pretty interesting. That's actually not the first way that I would have defined parallel lines. I would have said, hey, if they're on the same plane and they don't intersect, it's pretty good, because if you're translating something, you aren't going to rotate it. You're not going to change its direction, I guess one way to think about it. And so if you're translating one, if they're two different lines, but you can shift them without changing their direction, which is what translation is all about, on top of each other, that actually feels pretty good. So I'll put that right over there. So Ori says two lines are parallel if they are close together but don't intersect. If you're trying to define parallel lines, it doesn't matter if they're close together or not. They just have to be in the same plane and not intersect. They could be very far apart and they could still be parallel. So this isn't an incorrect statement. You could have two lines that are close together and don't intersect on the same plane, and they are going to be parallel. But this isn't a good definition, because you can also have parallel lines that are far apart. And so actually, I'd go with this statement right here. Part of your definition is correct, but the to be close together. So this isn't a good definition of parallel lines. And let's see, Kaori. Two lines are parallel as long as they aren't perpendicular. Well, that's just not true, because you can intersect. You can have two lines that intersect at non-right angles, and they're not parallel, and they're also not perpendicular. So this is, sorry, your definition is incorrect. This is actually a lot of fun pretending to be the teacher. Let's do it.
Alrighty, I am back. I'll turn my camera back on here. And it is fun to be the teacher sometimes when you follow directions and you copy. It's great fun. You would think not, but it is. Oh, I didn't really have to turn that off, but I meant to. This is going to show because it's the context here. Back to that. I want my camera. So the common theme is not the words, right? I'm not trying to stress the words or the definitions to you. And that's what a lot of geometry lessons are, right? The boring ones. No offense to the other geometry teachers, but I want to show you what they teach us, what geometry is, right? Precision, logic, and habit. Those are the things that we teachers get taught as like the envelope, but to contain all of the definitions and geometry lessons. But I want you to have this information. I want you to do the copying. Get it right. Okay, that's really what I have for you here. I just slammed all geometry teachers probably. So Italia, do you have any questions or comments? Okay, so thanks for watching this. I'm here Monday through Friday. Let me bring up that contact information here. And bring this up bigger. So there's my phone number. There's a QR code that you can snap. You can always know when I'm available. That's going to be my office hours are Monday through Friday to 8 to 5. But that schedule will tell you when I'm busy or not. And I'm almost always open. And yeah, we do have a question here. Yeah, go ahead. This is a question on resubmitting assignments. Yeah, you can unmute, absolutely. Or maybe I need to do that for you.
Okay, sorry. I was just wondering about resubmission and if it's possible that I could resubmit an assignment that I didn't do great on.
Yes, the course syllabus, which is available on the syllabus tab as well as in the course announcements tab, includes the number of retakes available for every type of assignment. So workbooks are unlimited. Checkpoints 3 times. The unit session quizzes 3 times, but you'll get the answers, so you can't take that again. So all that information is there in the syllabus. That is so important. I even put it in the class later on as a refresher as you just go through the class. And always use my comments.
What about the discussions? Are we able to redo that?
As many times as you like, yes.
Okay, thank you.
Oh, you're very welcome. Yep. Yeah, so you can, I don't think your voice goes through into the recording. So yes, you can do discussions are unlimited. Use my help. You'll see in the top right your notifications or messages. So just read those because I'm pushing you to the answer. I want everyone to do well. And when you see the answers, you're learning. And we're all here for learning. We're not here to be tested, really. We're here for learning and discovery. Okay. Anything else?
No, that's all. Thank you so much.
You're welcome, Talia. So I'm going to wrap it up here. And as I end each of these sessions, take good care of yourself. And if you can, take good care of someone else too. Bye.